Hey, what's up, guys? It's Albino, and I've been getting a lot of messages here. One of them, comes from Metallic Purple Armor. He asks, "How do you kill a prophet with a Warthog Rush?" Well, Metallic, I'd be glad to tell you that. In fact, I just received a very similar message from a guy I Warthog Rushed. He says, "Haha, you're a general, but you play like a recruit by rushing with Warthogs." That was by Murray Boy. And Murray Boy, I've actually made this video for both you and Metallic to show you that it's a recruit that plays like a general by trying to Warthog Rush like a general. And as you can see, they will be saying to you, WTF, how did he do that? At the end of this video. Alright, this is a 2v2 on Beastly's Plateau, and on the opposite team we have Cutter, who's a recruit, a Prophet, who's a general. On my team it's a double Anders, and I'm actually a general. You want to start out by building one Warthog from the base, and you build a supply depot. Then you want to follow it up by your reactor, and what I like to do is send my scout as far away from my base as possible, more so to the halfway point between mine and his, and start collecting resources. Then you're going to be having two Warthogs come out from the base, so make sure they are building, and you'll send each Warthog thereafter to the mineral patch a little bit before the next. And right as soon as you get your gunner upgrade, you want to get that right away whenever the reactor's set down. And you also want to make sure this is a rush, so you want to be over there by about 1 minute and 50 seconds at the latest. You want to have your gunner already, and you want to be able to just go in there and take down shield gens if they are building right away. If not, you can go for the objects that are actually building and wait until he has almost everything finished. Now you see here I come in on his base, and I'm able to scout that out when he only has one thing done a little bit before my reactor gets done. As soon as my reactor comes up, I queue up the gunner. I get a little lucky this match because I find the Prophet trying to expand a little too early. He's not upgraded, and if that Prophet was upgraded, I wouldn't be able to take him on with my Warthogs. So naturally, I go ahead and make gunner. Then I queue up another Warthog, and I'm just going to queue up a couple more supply pads. And I'm sending 3 Warthogs over here to harass the Prophet's base. Now I happen to see the Prophet when he's about a quarter shield, so I just decide to take him out here and now. I only have 3 Warthogs, and how do you kill a Prophet with a Warthog Rush? It's pretty easy. If you can see, it's just about microing. I micro in a square. You don't want to make use of the ram ability because it will destroy all of your Warthogs. So only do that if he is red bar and you have some Warthogs to spare, because it's definitely a great way to kill the Prophet. Now I end up making a 4th supply pad here, and that's just because I want the mass Warthogs. I'm not going for Grenader at the moment. A couple of Warthogs will do me good, and then I'll upgrade Grenader later. So just keep on making one Warthog, and I actually never have a Warthog that's not queued up. You want to make sure you constantly produce them because this is a Warthog Rush. Now, it's about 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the game right about here. You want to make sure you are harassing them. You can see that I heal up my units because that is more than $350 worth of Warthogs, and I'm going to make sure they stay alive while fighting at the enemy's base. Captain Cutter could have Mac blasted me right here. That's why I do like to press and hold X to set those rally points and to set little wave points. Now we're just taking out all of his money, making sure that if he does build the Prophet again, at least he won't be able to hold Y on me a whole hell of a lot. You want to upgrade your supply pad when you get the chance and upgrade your base. Now this does depend map on map here. Since it's Beastly's Plateau, we're going to actually take advantage of some of those expansions a little bit later in the game. Right now you want to just focus on rushing the Prophet. As long as his economy is devastated, it's going to help you greatly, because your plan when you Warthog Rush in the beginning, if they don't resign like these guys haven't, what you want to do is probably go Hogs or tanks. Now I know Cutter's going infantry, and this guy obviously only has the Prophet. So because he only has the Prophet, Gas Warthog would probably work great, but we're going to go throw in some tanks. And notice I'm not aiming for the center of the base. I want to make sure I have enough units to kill the building before I actually start aiming for the center. Because there's no point in aiming for the center and getting pushed back, and then having them just drop a heal on the center unit. This way, at least if they drop a heal, it's going to be across a lot of things that are pretty low health, and it'll be hard for the heal to go ahead and heal them fully. Now you can see I have my Warthog spread out. I'm just watching the base, trying not to get Mac Blast. I'm not afraid of the Prophet because he obviously has nothing. You want to upgrade your second supply depot. You can see that I had sold a supply depot for a reactor, and as soon as that reactor's up, get Grenader. I'm about to have Grenader here. His Prophet actually was in the making. He locked himself inside his base. Now that Prophet has a Prophet chair. It is an upgraded Prophet, so 4 Warthogs, especially one that's really weak, cannot take the Prophet. And I managed to kill both supply pads, so now we're going to be aiming for the center of the base, and we're playing keep the Prophet away from your Warthogs. As you can see, my Grenader is just doing work to that building. It already has it about a quarter of the way down. He's trying to make some more supply pads. I think he tries to make a turret, and it's definitely important for you to make a turret. If anybody's ever at your base like this, the fact that he didn't try to make turrets actually allowed me to succeed in this rush a lot quicker. Now we're upgrading our final 3 supply depots. We did finally manage to upgrade the base, and just as soon as you get pushed out of your rush, you want to immediately on Beast's Plateau go ahead and clear those expansions on the side. So you'll see me try and do that here in a second. His Prophet is quite powerful, and I want to make sure they don't make a shield gen, because my tanks are going to come out and I will have enough to destroy his base. But right now we do need to be building a tank. I went ahead and built a vehicle depot, and my Warthogs are still in their base hitting away. You want to make sure they don't build shield gens. I'm not really worried too much about all of these supply pads because they do give the building a slight bit of health. But better than that, if you get caught up in trying to kill all these warehouses, that Prophet will come out of nowhere and you won't be able to catch him. So just aiming for the center, running completely away from the Prophet, and be careful about running into the center of the Prophet's base. He can actually teleport in front of the center for about $100, so you want to make sure he doesn't do that. He will destroy your Warthogs if that's the case. You can see his base is getting really low. He knows he's going to die. I'm not sure why his partner didn't help. My partner, if you watch the mini-map, he did some harassment in the very beginning of the game. I don't think it was very much, and then he just went straight Hogs, so you'll see that a little bit later. Now right now he tries to put up a shield gen. I guess he's now finally concerned about his base and thinks he should put down a shield gen. So I'm making a Warthog. Mine actually gets killed while I was back at that base, and I have to send one final Warthog on a suicide mission to try and get that shield gen before it comes up and the base is actually engulfed in a shield, and I can't win. Now I send my Warthog there. It does hit the center of the base. You always want to aim for the center of the base, because if it hit a warehouse or even the shield gen, there's a possibility that the shield gen will come up, and that's just how the game is. Notice I sent the Warthog to the very back of the base. I'm still trying to play keep away with my Warthogs and that Prophet. I can't kill him just yet, especially with that upgraded Prophet chair. Now his base almost has no health. I got a tank coming over at the moment. I have 2 on the field and 1 building. I'm still making some Warthogs, and this should be good enough to go ahead and kill the Prophet. It's actually an unupgraded tank, so at the moment we're going over to the expansions. We want to clear that out. We've finally been pushed out of his base, but his base is dead, so it's not like it really matters. You want to upgrade your supply depots and constantly make units. Now, a good rule of thumb between how many units you have on the field and your money would just be that only upgrade your money if you can make units. So I'll be making let's say 5 tanks, and then finally I'll have enough extra to go ahead and upgrade. That is a very poor example. So what you want to do necessarily is you make 1 Warthog with Anders, you make 1 tank, and then you go back and you upgrade some piece of money you have. And then you just keep on making 1 tank, 1 Warthog, upgrade the money, or lay down the money. You want to keep a nice balance. If you do get pushed out of someone's base and you lose an army, go for the immediate tech upgrade and then army. If it's even more cause to be worried, you want to push out an army first. So you may want to have 1 tank, 2 Warthogs, and then upgrade a supply depot rather than 1 and 1. So it really is just up to you after this very first build. Basically, the Worthog Rush to begin is very important. You need to be over there by about 1 minute and 50 seconds, if not earlier. All you're doing is building a warehouse, reactor, 2 Warthogs right off the bat. And then as soon as your reactor's up, get the Grenader, send your Warthogs over to at least collect money on their side of the map where their bases are. So just as you're about to get Grenader or Gunner, you can rush into their base and destroy everything before their second building's even up. That is the idea here. Now, as you can see, I did go ahead and take out the Prophet. He came over to my base to try and see what I had and destroy something for a little, I guess, instead of taking a second base. I was a little bit concerned that he had a second base. Turns out I didn't need to be. Now we just have to deal with Cutter, who has managed to lock himself inside his base, like most Cutters do, with a whole bunch of turrets around him. So as you can see here, our partner shows us the 2 turrets. Oh no, that's me scouting. Anyways, they have Hogs at this point. Our partner does. Our partner has Hogs. Now, we did a rush. So we put all of our eggs in 1 basket here with Warthogs. If they would have destroyed any of my Warthogs or made a turret, that rush probably wouldn't have worked as well. I would have been pushed back and forced to go tanks or air sooner. Now what my partner had done was, instead of rushing, he sent over a nice little scout unit. Cutter got afraid and started turtling as hard as possible. And then my partner just instantly went for Hogs, and he got a lot of Hornets out before we went to Hogs. But it's, let's see, about 12 minutes into the game now. We have 1 person left. For some reason, Cutter chose to put his double reactor not inside his base with 4 turrets and obviously upgraded turrets, but over here by this 1 lone turret. Now, I guess that was pretty smart because my partner hadn't found it for 20 minutes, but typically you want to keep your reactors on your base. As you can see, I go ahead and destroy him here, and basically, if there's only 1 person left and he hasn't resigned and he knows he's going to lose, then that's cool. We're just going to make a perimeter outside of his base. I'm not going to go in there and lose units. You can see I grab a second expansion. I'm just making some tanks. I got a tech upgrade. Now I have Gauss on my Warthogs. That's about 12 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. I have Gauss. Now, you can get Gauss sooner. And if I was going for some sort of tech upgrade, as you can see, this Anders is about to get Hogs. So yes, I could have got a higher tech upgrade, and I could have got a higher tech upgrade sooner. However, that's not the point of a rush. So in case you didn't know, this is about killing the Prophet within the first 2 minutes of the game, and if done correctly, this rush will devastate the economy and the base of some person. Usually you want to target alien players because they have the weaker base, but it does kill human bases as long as they don't put up turrets. If you start putting up turrets, you may want to go gremlins. But I do this a lot, and actually people tend to quit out within the first 3 to 5 minutes of the game, constantly, because the Worthog Rush is an extremely good tactic. Most people just don't do it soon enough. That's the problem. And after the update, when they had lowered the health and damage of the Warthogs, it's incredibly hard to Worthog Rush because you have to do it so soon. And if your partner doesn't rush with you, you're probably going to fail. but if your partner does rush, their rush, your rush alone are going to succeed twice as much, because the Prophet Rush combined with the Anders Rush is actually really great. And also if you do the Arbiter Prophet, I'm sorry, the Arbiter Anders Rush, it's a great rush as well, because you have Warthogs, and if they have another Anders, which is the only human that can rush as efficiently with Warthogs. What I mean to say is that if they have an Arbiter, you've almost lost the game right off the bat, because the Arbiter tears apart your Warthogs. So you really don't want to go up against an Arbiter. That's why, as your partner, an Arbiter would be great, because you could Suicide Grunt Rush their Arbiter with your Arbiter, and then you could send your Warthogs over there after the Arbiter's dead for base harassment, and to finally just get that oomph in there and kill everything. Also, your partner's Arbiter can now go over to the human base and start destroying their turrets or whatnot. Usually you want to focus on one base at first. That's been my partner. You saw that he got Hogs finally towards the end there. I have 3 reactors going on my 4th. I was going for a straight Hog Expo. I came in first there. My partner came in second. You can see 3rd is their general and 4th is the Captain Cutter, who tried to Worthog Rush. Unfortunately wasn't as good as I was. And I think he built his Warthogs to 5 minutes too late or so. What a great video that was, and you guys have a great day.